Hi everyone, it's Michelle from Scrap Secrets and welcome to day 5 of the 25 Days of Christmas Card Challenge. So we've officially made it 1/5 of the way through after today's card and I've still kept up with this, so this is pretty good. Today we are going to be doing a gift card holder card, so it's kind of a 2-for-1, and we're going to be using Hero Art's new products. So the first thing we're going to use is this called Mountains of Joy stamp set. So this was an add-on to the November kit. So we're going to use this wishing you all the wonderful gifts this season and the present that's at the top of that. And we're going to stamp that on the inside of the card. We are going to be using the card kit. This is the actual kit here. We're just going to be using the present from there. I will be doing another card with some of these items on there, maybe possibly the door and maybe possibly one of the glycine bags and doing some kind of the treat bag. But we'll do that another day because this one just has to kind of be nice and easy and it'll be pretty short. And then we're also going to be using the fancy die set called Gift Card Holder, and which was an easy name to remember. We're going to be using this die. This creates the gift card holder, and then there is a Merry Christmas die around here somewhere. Oh, seems to have fallen off the paper. And this is what it looks like. It comes as part of this set. There are a ton of dies, and I cut them out because I wanted to see what they did, and they partially cut and partially score. So I'll show you guys that in a minute. But let's get started because this one is going to be a fairly quick card. I'm going to put this stuff off to the side. We're going to be using a black card base, and then this pattern paper is just from one of the Michaels paper packs. We are going to be using Distress Ink and Distress Oxide, Distress Ink in Picket Fence, and Oxide in Pine Needles and Barn Door, only because I don't have Festive Berries in Distress Oxide, not yet. So the first thing that I want to do is show you guys how the gift card holder cuts out. So when you cut it out the first time, it's just going to look like this. It's going to be plain. This is actually can be the front or the back, depending on how you want to do it. I actually want to make this the front. So what I did was I cut this out of a piece of red cardstock as well. And then I took the Merry Christmas die on here and just taped it down and ran it through my Cuttlebug. Now, in the set, there is a wreath, a candy cane, a reindeer, holly leaves, bells, a present, a star, and then a greeting that says Happy Holidays. I think I got them all. And so you can do a lot of different things to the front. You can put multiple images on there. You can put the sentiment and multiple images. So it's really just up to you. Let me show you guys what it looks like once I did this. Now I did this on red cardstock. And so if you see, some of this stuff is popped through, but not all of it. So what I want to do is I actually want to layer these on top of each other. Now my original thought was you'd probably be able to see some green behind here, but that's not what I wanted to do this for because we're actually going to score it, and since this is going to be the front, the inside is going to be green. So you're going to have like a two-colored effect here. So what we have to do is score this. So the first thing I'm going to do is pull out my Martha Stewart scoreboard and my extremely expensive Teflon bone folder, which I'm actually liking a lot more now. And we're just going to score. I'm just going to put this up on the lines and just kind of, because I don't think it actually lines up with an actual line. Just kind of score all my pieces. You don't have to reinforce these scores. They're actually pretty good, and you can probably just, fold them on the score lines. I'm just being a little overly dramatic and showing you guys the proper way of doing it. So like this, you can kind of see it doesn't take much to fold and score. If I have not actually reinforced these ones. So did one with and one without. So the first thing that I want to do is try to figure out how I'm going to do this. So am I going to tuck these in? Now what you can do is cut off these flaps here, and I think that I actually might do that because you're only going to need the red ones on the outside. So to just kind of cut down on the bulk, I'm just going to cut these flaps off. So see, I didn't even really need to score them anyway because I was going to cut them off. But at least I showed you guys what to do. So then it's a little bit smaller, and then it folds nicely in here. Now, The green piece is a little bit longer than the red piece at this point, and just because of the fold. So I might actually, I don't know, it's actually okay. Because you can do one of two things. You can tuck them all in like that, and then we can score them. Okay. So we can do this a couple different ways. We can tuck we can try to make this fold a little bit skinnier so it might not overlap as much. So now what I want to do, if that made sense, it probably didn't. Now what I want to do is put some glue on here, and then we'll put a little bit on this piece, and you just want to line it up to the best that you can. And then just kind of burnish it a little bit. I like to do it with my bone folder because I'd like to get as much use out of this as possible, because it was an extremely expensive bone folder. If you guys don't know, the Teflon bone folders are obviously fairly expensive, as I keep saying, but I find that they are worth it. It does a really nice job. So now what I want to do is I want to fold these over. So I'm actually going to create a pocket. So this is an old card, and it fits in there nicely. So it can fit in multiple size cards, gift cards. So you just put some of the glue on the outside, pull this over. Now again, you don't have to do multiple layers, so you can just do it with one. You don't have to do the second layer on the inside. And if you do that, you can glue it on the inside. If you're just going to use this as the only gift card holder that you have, like if you're just going to give this as a present, then you would just want to put it inside so that you don't have these lines. But we're actually going to attach this to the front of a card, so it's not going to matter. So I'm going to put the stamps to the side, and then we are going to just cap that. And we're going to take the piece of cardstock that I have that is 4 1/4 by 11 and score it at 5 1/2. Now this is the very thick black cardstock that I got from Michaels. This is, I think, the 120 or 140 pounds. The reason that I did that is because there's going to be a gift card holder on the front of it, and I wanted to make sure that it was going to hold up. You can see it is that thicker cardstock, so it doesn't fold as nicely. When you score it, you really have to press down on the bone folder, and the nice part about it is it doesn't leave that little white streak that some of the other bone folders leave behind. So now that I've found an ATG gun, so this one is old. This is actually so I have two of them. This one is actually for the photos. It's the acid-free one, but the other one is in my garage with some stuff from my last craft fair, so we're going to use that one. You don't have to use an acid-free one. That has nothing to do with this project because there's going to be no photos on this. So we're going to place this around the edges, and I know that it's pretty much like black on black. You could go around the edges with the Distress Oxide or Distress Ink, maybe green or red, and it would give it a little bit of a different look, but I'm not going to do that. So then here is the gift card holder. So we are going to, I want to use strong adhesive again to put this down. And again, I said this wasn't going to be a long video, and I'm already at 9 minutes. So I'm going to do this. We're going to put the gift card holder on the front of it. Kind of want it down at the bottom a little bit. So this is on there. And then we are going to take a Misty stamping tool or any kind of stamping tool that you have, and we're going to place it in here. I have the Misty. I actually have I have another stamping tool as well. It's the Hampton Arts one, I believe. So now we're going to, which I use often too, but this one's a little bit bigger. So we're going to do the sentiment, and we're going to do that in white, and then we're going to do the presents in, one present in red and one present in green, just because that's the colors that are on the front. Now you could line this and do a white piece of paper inside and then stamp different color, you know, like a green or a black sentiment, but I like the way that black cards look. I just think they look very classy and classic. So I'm going to do my best to get this to stamp. Now, Distress inks are not necessarily made for stamping, so we are probably going to have to do this a couple times. I did season this stamp a little bit by rubbing my hand over top of it, and it looks like the ink is taking fairly well to it. So it is going to take a little bit for it to dry, but you can definitely read what that says. Wishing you all the wonderful gifts this season. Going to stamp it one more time, and then I'm going to line up the presents, and we'll stamp those both at the same time. Now, Distress Oxides, which the other two colors are, those tend to stamp better than the Distress inks. So if you have the Picket Fence and Distress Oxide, which I don't happen to have, you probably would want to use that because they definitely stamp a little bit better. So then I just kind of want this around the sentiment. And again, I've never used these ones before, so I'm just going to kind of run my fingers over them, get the oils from my hands on them, and kind of just, sometimes they have a film on top of it, and it's not Hero Art stuff, it's everybody's. So it's not like it's just a you know, certain company's problem, but a lot of the clear stamps seem to have that. So we're just gonna ink those up. We'll probably have to ink them up a second time, but I love the way these look on here. And as soon as I'm done, I don't know how much you can see from here, I will hold it up into the light and you can see how cool it looks. I think that these look really, really nice stamped on black cardstock. It's actually one of my favorite things to do is use Distress Oxides on black cardstock because they have such a cool effect, and a lot of times they kind of look like they're glowing. So you can heat set these with some embossing powder. So there you go. That's what it looks like. And there's the front of the card. Here is the quick under 15-minute card, and obviously I was rambling a little bit and showing you guys how to do this. So this would be a great card to mass produce, make it in a couple under 10 minutes by the time you guys do it, you know, after you've sat down and cut out everything. But there are so many options for the front of this that you can do, and I think it was a quick and easy card. So hopefully you guys like this, and if you recreate it, let me know. Send me the link to Instagram, Facebook, whatever, and because I love to see what you guys make. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you have comments or questions, leave them below. If you're not subscribed to me, please hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you as a subscriber, and I'll be back again real soon for day 6. Bye.